The night was clear, and the stars shone with an intensity that made Sam's cabin the perfect retreat for anyone with a penchant for the cosmos. Alongside Sam was his old college friend, Mia, an environmental scientist, and his younger brother, Jamie, a tech enthusiast. The trio had planned this weekend as a stargazing retreat, away from the city lights and daily grind. As they set up their telescopes, a sudden streak of bright lights cut across the sky. "Another meteor shower?" Jamie asked, adjusting his lens. "No, those are moving too irregularly for meteors," Mia observed, squinting up at the sky. "Look how they're clustered!" Sam grabbed his binoculars, his heart racing with excitement. "That's not anything like I've ever seen before. This could be something different." The lights seemed to swirl, and then, alarmingly, one larger light broke away, hurtling towards the earth. It disappeared behind the tree line, and a distant crash shook the ground beneath their feet. "We have to check it out," Sam declared, his eyes alight with curiosity. "Are you crazy? That could be dangerous," Mia protested, but her tone betrayed her intrigue. "We can't just ignore it. Whatever it is, it fell on my property. We have to make sure everything is okay," Sam reasoned. With a mix of trepidation and excitement, the group grabbed their flashlights and headed towards the crash site. The forest was dark and eerie, the only sounds the crunch of leaves underfoot and the occasional distant howl of a night creature. As they approached the site, the air grew tangibly static. Jamie's flashlight flickered. "Guys, I think this was no meteor," he muttered, tapping his flashlight nervously. They emerged into a clearing and were met with a sight that none of them could have anticipated. A spacecraft, glowing faintly with a pulsating light, lay embedded in the earth, its hull smoking and sizzling. "Is this alien?" Mia whispered, her voice a mixture of fear and awe. Before anyone could respond, a portion of the craft opened with a hiss, and a figure staggered out. It was unmistakably humanoid, with shimmering skin that seemed to absorb the flashlight's beam, and eyes that glowed softly in the darkness. "Hello? Can you understand us?" Sam called out tentatively. The figure paused, its chest heaving. After a moment it spoke, its voice musical but strained. "Yes, I can understand. I have a translator. Please, I need help." Jamie stepped forward, his usual apprehension overridden by curiosity. "We won't hurt you. What happened?" "My navigation failed, and I was drawn off course by your planet's gravity," the alien, Lyra, as they would soon learn, explained. She looked around warily. "I am Lyra from the constellation you call Lyra, ironically. I mean no harm." Sam exchanged a look with Mia, who nodded slightly. "We can help you," he said. "Let's get you away from the ship. It doesn't look stable." As they helped Lyra back to the cabin, the questions began to bubble up among them, each more eager than the last to learn about this unexpected visitor's origins and the wonders beyond their world. This chance encounter would soon propel them into adventures none could have anticipated. Back at the cabin, Lyra sat on the sofa, looking fragile, yet fascinatingly different. Sam offered her a blanket, which she accepted with a nod, her eyes scanning the room with a mixture of curiosity and caution. Mia, ever the scientist, was itching to ask 1,000 questions but held back, respecting the alien's visible exhaustion. "So, Lyra," Jamie began, trying to keep the mood light, "is this your first visit to Earth, or do you guys come here often and just dodge the radar?" Lyra chuckled softly, her voice echoing slightly with an ethereal quality. "This is my first time on Earth. My mission was exploratory, not to visit but to pass by and collect data. I did not intend to land, much less crash." Mia leaned forward, her interest piqued. "What kind of data? Are you studying planets, or is it more about space in general?" "Planetary systems and their life sustainability capacities," Lyra replied. "We search for planets where life could exist or does exist. It helps us understand the diversity of life forms and their environments." Sam, who had been quietly listening, interjected. "And your technology, the ship you were in, it's way beyond anything we have here. Could you tell us more about that?" Lyra nodded, seeming to gauge how much to share. "Our technology is based on energy manipulation and quantum mechanics. It allows us to travel between stars, manipulate environmental conditions, and much more." As the night deepened, their conversation delved deeper into both the technical and the personal. Lyra spoke of her home, a planet where bioluminescence was common in all life forms, creating a world that glowed in the dark. She talked about her family, hinting at the universality of some emotions and relationships, no matter the species. Jamie, always connected, had set up a device to record their conversation, thinking ahead to the implications of their discovery. Do you think there are more beings like you visiting Earth? He asked. It's possible, Lyra said, her tone noncommittal. Space is vast, and many civilizations are exploring, just like mine. Mia, connecting dots, asked, And the government's here. If they knew about you, what do you think they'd do? Lyra's expression turned grave. I fear they would be more interested in my technology than in peaceful scientific exchange. That is often a problem when civilizations at different technological levels meet. Realizing the potential danger Lyra could be in, Sam shifted the conversation. For now, you're safe here with us. Tomorrow we'll figure out how to help you repair your ship. Jamie, you think you can help with the tech? Jamie nodded enthusiastically. Absolutely, I'll do whatever I can. As the night turned into early morning, they made plans. Despite the uncertainty of what lay ahead, a bond was forming among the group, united by a common goal to help their new friend. Lyra, for her part, seemed comforted by their genuine eagerness to assist her, and a faint smile graced her lips as she finally relaxed enough to rest. This initial contact, filled with an exchange of knowledge and the beginning of a deep friendship, set the tone for what was to become a life-changing experience for them all. Lyra woke to the aroma of coffee and the sound of hushed, excited whispers. Sam was already up, mapping out a strategy on his laptop while Mia brewed a strong pot of coffee. Jamie, meanwhile, had taken apart several old gadgets, laying out components that might be useful for repairing Lyra's spacecraft. As Lyra joined them in the kitchen, her movement fluid and quiet, Mia handed her a mug of coffee, gesturing to indicate she should drink. It's hot, Mia warned, watching curiously to see Lyra's reaction. Lyra sipped cautiously, then smiled. It's good, thank you, she said, surprising them with her adaptability. As they settled around the kitchen table, Sam laid out the day's agenda. First, we need to assess the damage to your ship, see what we can salvage and what we need to source. Jamie's already on it, aren't you? Jamie looked up from his tinkering. Yeah, I think I've got a few ideas that might work with alien tech. It's mostly guesswork, but I'm excited to try. Mia, looking thoughtful, chimed in. We should also consider the bigger picture. If the authorities find out about Lyra, they'll likely want to confine her, study her. We need a plan to keep her presence under wraps. Lyra listened intently, nodding. In my world, we have protocols for these situations, but here, I'm out of my element. Then it's settled, Sam concluded. We'll work on your ship and figure out a cover story for any prying eyes. Maybe we can pretend you're a distant relative visiting. The group spent the morning at the crash site, assessing the wreckage. The ship was more damaged than they had hoped, but Jamie's enthusiasm and technical prowess brought a spark of hope. Lyra provided insights into her technology, amazed at Jamie's quick grasp of concepts alien to Earth. In the afternoon, they took a break in the nearby town to gather supplies. Lyra, her features disguised with some of Mia's clothes and sunglasses, observed human interactions with keen interest. How do you find our little planet so far? Mia asked as they browsed a hardware store. It's vibrant, full of life and color, quite different from the muted tones of my world. Lyra replied, examining a display of solar garden lights with fascination. Their outing was not without challenges. At a local diner, a group of locals stared a bit too long at Lyra's unusual appearance, prompting the group to cut their visit short. The experience underscored the need for discretion and the fragility of Lyra's situation on Earth. That evening, back at the cabin, the group gathered around a makeshift workshop where Jamie had set up his equipment. They worked together, human and alien hands intertwined, each learning from the other. Lyra's stories of the cosmos filled the room, her descriptions of interstellar travel and cosmic phenomena captivating her new friends. As night fell, they had made significant progress. The ship's core systems were partially restored, thanks to a blend of Lyra's advanced technology and Jamie's improvised Earth-based solutions. Their successful day ended with a quiet moment under the stars. Lyra pointed out constellations from her part of the universe, and in return, Sam showed her some of Earth's most beloved star formations. This unique blend of alien wisdom and human curiosity created not only a sense of achievement, but also a deeper bond among them. They were no longer just a group of humans and an alien. They were teammates, united in a common cause. Under the cover of dawn, the peaceful cabin stirred with a sense of urgency. Mia was the first to notice the unmarked vehicles slowly approaching from the main road. We have company, she whispered, peering through the curtains. Sam and Jamie rushed to her side, catching sight of the dark SUVs kicking up dust in the distance. Lyra, sensing their fear, understood immediately. "They're here for me," she said quietly, her voice calm, despite the looming threat. "We need to leave, now," Sam insisted, his mind racing with escape routes. He quickly gathered essential items, stuffing them into a backpack along with Lyra's crucial tech components. Jamie pulled up a map on his tablet. "There's a back road, not much more than a trail. It's rough, but it should be off their radar. We can take the old Jeep." As they hurriedly packed the vehicle, Mia set up several makeshift traps around the property. Nothing harmful, just enough to slow anyone who tried to follow. "Just a little science experiment," she muttered, connecting wires to small, non-lethal charges. Lyra helped as best she could, though her unfamiliarity with the terrain made her feel more vulnerable than ever. She looked to her human friends, their determination a comfort to her. "Thank you for doing this," she said, her eyes reflecting her gratitude and fear. Once in the Jeep, Sam took the wheel, driving carefully but quickly to avoid the rough patches that could slow them down. The narrow path was surrounded by dense woods, providing cover but also posing its own dangers. Mia kept watch with a pair of binoculars. "Looks like we've got a bit of a lead on them, but we can't slow down," she reported, her voice tense but focused. As they drove, Jamie tried to keep the mood light. "You know, I always wanted a road trip with friends. Alien Chase wasn't exactly what I had in mind, but hey, it's definitely one for the books." Lyra managed to smile, appreciating Jamie's attempt at humor. "On my planet, a journey taken with friends is considered a sacred bond. We're living a tradition, in a way." Their escape took them deeper into less familiar territory. Sam navigated the winding paths with skill, but the old Jeep struggled with the terrain. At one particularly steep incline, the engine groaned and shuddered, forcing them to stop. "We have to go on foot from here," Sam decided after a quick inspection of the engine. They grabbed their packs and plunged into the thicker forest, moving as quickly as the underbrush would allow. After hours of hiking, they found a secluded spot by a small river. Exhausted but safe, they set up a temporary camp. As night fell, they discussed their next moves. "We need to reach the next town over. They have a garage where we can maybe get some help without drawing attention," Mia suggested, checking the map. Lyra, sitting beside the gently flowing water, felt a mix of awe and sorrow. Earth was beautiful, but every step took her further from her mission, her ship, and her way home. That night, under a blanket of stars, the group shared stories of their worlds, human and alien alike. Despite the danger and uncertainty of their situation, there was a prevailing sense of unity and resolve among them. They were no longer just allies by circumstance. They were a team, each member crucial to the survival and success of their unplanned mission. By morning, the small camp by the river felt almost homely, a temporary sanctuary from the chaos of their flight. As they prepared to break camp, Lyra pulled out a small holographic device from her pack. "I want to show you something," she said, her voice filled with a mixture of pride and nostalgia. The device flickered to life, projecting images of distant galaxies, nebulae, and star systems in stunning clarity above their makeshift breakfast table. Lyra pointed to a vibrant cluster of stars. "This is my home, in the Viridian system. It's part of what you call the Lyra constellation." Sam, Mia, and Jamie leaned in, captivated by the display. "It's beautiful," Mia breathed, her scientific mind racing with questions about the ecosystems and physics of such a place. Lyra smiled softly. "Each of these points of light is a planet or a star that sustains life in one form or another. Our technology allows us to explore these, learning and sharing knowledge across systems." Jamie, fascinated by the technology, asked, "How do you power something like this? The energy requirements must be enormous." "The core technology harnesses quantum entanglement, drawing energy from spatial anomalies we've stabilized," Lyra explained. "It's very efficient, clean, and powerful." Their conversation deepened into the specifics of interstellar travel, Lyra explaining the principles of faster-than-light navigation and the societal norms that came with the ability to traverse the cosmos so freely. Sam pondered the implications. "And with all this knowledge, all this technology, you choose to explore peacefully?" "Yes," Lyra replied, her tone serious. "My people learned long ago that the survival of a species depends on cooperation, not conquest. We explore to share, learn, and grow, not to dominate." This philosophy struck a chord with Mia, who often lamented the contentious nature of human exploration and exploitation on Earth. "We could learn a lot from your people," she mused. As they packed up the holographic device, the conversation shifted to their immediate situation. We need a better plan, Sam asserted. We can't keep running indefinitely. Sooner or later they'll catch up or we'll make a mistake. Mia nodded in agreement. We should consider reaching out to someone we can trust for help. Maybe someone from my network in the environmental science community. They have resources, and they're used to dealing with confidential matters. Jamie chimed in. And I've got a few contacts in the tech world who might be intrigued enough to lend us a hand discreetly. Maybe they can even help improve the ship with some Earth tech. Lyra listened, her expression one of gratitude. I'm in your debt. Your willingness to help, at risk to yourselves, is more than I could have expected. With their plan taking shape, they carefully made their way to the nearest town. Utilizing their networks, they contacted a few trusted allies, setting up a meeting point in a secluded area. Each step was taken with caution, knowing the delicate balance they maintained between safety and exposure. That evening, as they huddled in a hidden safe house arranged by Mia's contacts, they felt the first real hope since their flight began. Surrounded by the hum of quiet conversation and the soft glow of a single lamp, they planned their next moves, the bonds of their newfound family strengthening with each shared challenge and triumph. After several days of tense travel and careful coordination with their contacts, Sam, Mia, Jamie, and Lyra arrived at a secluded location known only to a select few in Mia's environmental network. Nestled deep in a private reserve, this hidden sanctuary was used for sensitive research away from prying eyes. Here they hoped to find temporary safety and the resources needed to repair Lyra's spacecraft. As they drove through the thick forest that shielded the sanctuary, Lyra looked out with a sense of wonder. Your planet has such diverse biomes. It's much more varied than I expected. Mia smiled, proud to showcase Earth's natural beauty. We try to protect areas like this from too much human impact. It's a balance, but places like these are crucial for biodiversity. The sanctuary itself was a collection of low, earth-toned buildings that blended into the landscape, designed to minimize ecological footprint. As they entered the main lodge, they were greeted by Dr. Elena Torres, a leading figure in Mia's network and an advocate for interspecies cooperation on Earth, although usually that meant different species of Earth's own flora and fauna. Dr. Torres extended a warm welcome. We've prepared everything according to your specifications, Mia. The workshop is ready for your special project, she said, her eyes flickering with curiosity towards Lyra. Lyra introduced herself and explained her mission, emphasizing her peaceful intentions and the scientific nature of her journey. Dr. Torres listened intently, her scientific mind absorbing every detail. We have technologies and materials here that may help with your repairs, she offered, and perhaps there's much we can learn from each other. Over the next few days, the sanctuary proved to be more than just a hideout. It was a hub of shared knowledge and skills. Jamie and several tech specialists from the sanctuary worked closely with Lyra, combining their expertise to adapt Earth-based technology to work with the alien spacecraft systems. Sam and Mia, meanwhile, explored the reserve with Dr. Torres, discussing potential environmental impacts of alien technology and how Lyra's presence could be shielded from governmental agencies. They devised strategies to keep the sanctuary a secret, leveraging its already well-guarded nature due to its status as a research facility. One evening, as they gathered in the communal dining hall, Dr. Torres shared stories of other confidential projects and the unexpected alliances that had formed over the years. You're not the first to seek refuge here, she revealed, though you are certainly the most extraterrestrial. Lyra, feeling more relaxed and accepted than she had since her arrival on Earth, expressed her gratitude. I am overwhelmed by your hospitality and the risks you take on my behalf. I hope that my knowledge can serve as a fair exchange. The group discussed potential future collaborations, pondering how Lyra's insights could aid Earth's own technological and environmental challenges. The conversations stretched into the night, filled with speculative science and imaginative possibilities. As they retired to their quarters, Jamie glanced up at the stars, now familiar with constellations he had never known before. Think there are others out there doing what we're doing now? He asked the group. Almost certainly, Lyra responded, her gaze also upward. The universe is vast, and life finds a way to connect, one way or another. Maybe others are looking up at their skies, pondering the same questions. In the sanctuary of both the reserve and their newfound companionship, they found a momentary peace, allowing them to focus on their immediate tasks while dreaming of broader horizons yet to explore. The tranquility of the sanctuary was shattered one crisp morning by the sudden roar of helicopters overhead. Sam and Mia exchanged alarmed glances as they stepped outside the main lodge to see several black aircraft circling low. "It's a raid," Mia hissed, pulling Sam back inside. "They must have tracked us down somehow." Lyra, who had been assisting Jamie with the final adjustments to her spacecraft, looked up sharply. "What do we do now?" Her voice was calm, but her eyes betrayed her concern. Jamie clenched his fists, frustration etched on his face. "We can't let them take you or the ship. We've come too far for that." Dr. Torres quickly organized the sanctuary's residents. "We have protocols for this. Everyone, to your positions." She then turned to Sam and his group. "Follow me. There's a hidden passage that leads to a bunker beneath the research lab. You can hide there." As the group hurried through the twisting corridors of the lodge, Dr. Torres explained that the sanctuary was designed with such scenarios in mind, though they had never expected to face a threat of this magnitude. Once inside the bunker, Lyra turned to Sam. "If they capture me, it's not just me at risk. It's potentially all of your planet. My technology could be misused, especially if they don't understand it." "We won't let that happen," Sam reassured her, checking his phone for any network signal to contact outside help. Above ground, the sanctuary's staff executed non-violent distraction tactics. They released dense smoke screens and used loudspeakers to create disorienting sound fields, hoping to confuse and delay the intruders without causing harm. Mia, monitoring the situation through security cameras, narrated the events to the group huddled in the bunker. "They're trying to breach the West Wing. Oh, good move, Elena. She's rerouted them to a maze section of the garden." Meanwhile, Jamie set up a makeshift communication jammer, hoping to disrupt the raiders' coordination. "This should give us a bit of chaos cover," he said, adjusting the settings. Lyra, seeing their efforts, felt a mix of gratitude and sorrow. "Your world. You fight so hard for what's right. It's inspiring." As the hours passed, the team in the bunker could hear the muffled sounds of the raid continuing. Eventually, Dr. Torres came over the radio. "It's working. They're retreating, but we need to act quickly. They might regroup and come back stronger." The group emerged from the bunker, witnessing the disarray left by the thwarted raid. Burnt patches of grass, broken equipment, and a lingering haze were the only indicators of the morning's chaos. "We need to finish the repairs on your ship," Jamie said to Lyra. "It's now or never. If they come back, we might not have another chance." With renewed urgency, Lyra and Jamie headed to the workshop, while Sam and Mia helped Dr. Torres organize a cleanup and bolster defenses in case of another attack. By nightfall, the ship was nearly ready to launch, a testament to the collaboration and resolve of everyone at the sanctuary. As they prepared for whatever might come next, their spirits were bolstered by the small victory they had achieved together. They understood that the struggle was far from over, but they were ready to face it, united by a common cause and strengthened by their shared experiences. As the first rays of the morning sun pierced the horizon, the group stood by Lyra's spacecraft, its surface gleaming softly in the new light. The mood was somber, everyone contemplating the impending departure. Sam shuffled uncomfortably, dreading the goodbye. Lyra turned to face the group, her expression serene yet thoughtful. "I've made a decision," she began, her voice steady and clear. Everyone's attention snapped to her, anticipation hanging in the air. Seeing their anxious faces, Lyra smiled reassuringly. "I've decided to stay," she announced. The surprise was immediate, rippling through the group like a wave. Sam blinked in astonishment, his heart skipping a beat. "Stay? Here on Earth?" he asked, hardly daring to believe it. "Yes," Lyra confirmed, her gaze meeting his. "I've seen enough of the stars for now. My mission was to explore and understand new worlds and their potential for sustaining life. What I've found here, with all of you, has shown me that there's much more to learn right here on Earth." Mia let out a breath she hadn't realized she'd been holding, and Jamie whooped with joy. Dr. Torres, though surprised, nodded in approval, understanding the significance of Lyra's decision. "But what about your people, your home?" Sam asked, concern threading through his words. Lyra reached out, taking Sam's hands in hers. "I will communicate with them, explain my reasons. They value the pursuit of knowledge, and I believe they will understand. Besides," she continued, squeezing his hands gently, "with the technology we have, I'm not so far from home, and I can always return if needed." The relief and happiness that washed over Sam were palpable. He smiled broadly, the prospect of exploring their relationship without the looming farewell making him feel lighter than he had in days. "So, you're really staying," Mia said, a grin spreading across her face. "Yes, and I hope to contribute here, help protect this beautiful planet alongside all of you, Lyra replied, her eyes sparkling with determination. The group spent the morning discussing plans and possibilities. Lyra's decision to stay opened up new avenues for collaboration between her advanced knowledge and Earth's environmental needs. They talked about setting up a more permanent base for Lyra at the sanctuary, integrating her technology for sustainable practices, and even publicly sharing the existence of extraterrestrial life under the right circumstances. As they walked back to the lodge, Sam felt an overwhelming sense of contentment. Lyra walked beside him, her presence a comforting assurance. The path ahead would not be without challenges, but they were ready to face them together, their journey intertwined with the future of Earth and beyond.